Welcome along to the DJ Mixtape. We're a brand new channel dedicated to DJ culture and electronic music. Today we're going to be taking a look at IZotope's RX8 music rebalance feature. So today we're going to be taking a look at IZotope's new RX8 software and in particular the music rebalance feature in the software. So if you're a DJ who likes getting in the studio every now and again and doing a remix, this should be of interest to you. If you're not aware of IZotope, the company behind the software, they're the world leaders in audio treatment. So they're often used by music producers, film production houses, that sort of thing, and they want to sort of change the audio that they've got, and they might want to take a hiss or a hum off the audio, or they might want to master something to make it really loud or retune something. So if that's the case, IZotope is kind of the world leader for that, and that's why it's used by most major kind of producers and production houses. So that's the backstory of them. So their RX8 software is a studio-based software. So if you're interested in this concept of stem separation and taking parts, for example, bass lines or vocals or drums from one existing audio piece and then making a remix from it, this is a studio piece of software. There are live options that are available. For example, DJ Pro and Virtual DJ have applications which you can use to DJ live using stem separation, and we're going to be taking a look at those in future videos. But we're massively excited to take a look at RX8 because RX7 was great, and in RX8 and particularly the music rebalance feature, they've promised improved algorithms and better separation of audio stems. So we will be looking at that in due course. So let's just take a quick look at the price of this. It's retailing at around £300 or just over $300. A lot of money for a lot of people. It's not a cheap option. It's intended for professionals doing their thing. So if you can't afford that, or you're not sure whether you want it and you want to try it out for a few months, head on over to the Splice website. This isn't an affiliate shout. We're not getting a kickback for this, but the Splice website offer a rent to buy option on this. So you can pay something around, I think it's 12 or 13 pounds a month. And you can use the software for that fee, and then if you pay the software off over the months to the point where you own it, you keep it. So that's a good deal, and if you want to cancel it at any point, you cancel it and you lose access to the software. So I think that's a great deal if you just want to try it out. So head over to Splice and do that. So one other thing I wanted to mention is IZotope are offering integration on DAWs for this. So if you use Ableton, Logic, Pro Tools, etc., there is plugin integration offered, but my experience of using this with Ableton wasn't fantastic. It didn't seem like there was a lot of point within the plugin or integration in it. I ended up spending all my time within the IZotope software anyway, and then exporting it and re-importing it into Ableton, which isn't, it's not that much of a hardship. I think they're going to work on DAW integration on future versions. So I think, in that sense, it's still a work in progress, but probably going to improve in future versions. Before we head on over into RX8, I think it's important to get a little bit of context on this idea of stem separation. We've come a long way with it. Back in the olden days, you used to have a mixing desk with bass, mid and treble, etc. And that was about all you could do with stem separation. Nowadays, With RX7, that was a bit of a groundbreaker. The music rebalance was fantastic on that, and it actually enabled you to really separate the stems to the point where you could do something with them in a studio, which is great. Now RX8 have promised a lot more improved algorithms with RX8. So yeah, we're going to jump in a second. It's the idea of stem separation is that it's not perfect at the moment. We're still a work in progress, and we're still seeing how far we can get with stem separation. I'm saying I'm not involved with it, but generally we're trying to see how far we can get with stem separation. Will we get to a point where you can separate stems 100% cleanly? I don't know. I hope so, because that will be a real watershed moment. At the moment, it's a work in progress. So let's see what RX8 can do. Let's head over there now. So we're just going to fire up XR and drag drag an audio file into it, and you'll see the blue audio wave is there. We're looking for the music rebalance. So let's go down to the right hand side and click on music rebalance. That's going to fire up our 4 elements of our track. So we've got vocal, bass, percussion, and other stuff, so extra, pianos and that sort of thing. I'm just going to play the tune with all the elements so you can hear it full. Okay, let's try the bass line now. It's a little muddy, but it's not too bad. Let's try it with some drums.
Remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. We were traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. We said long by higher, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been be my fatherland. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in the tropics.
Okay, so we're just going to render the vocal on its own, so we just have the stem of the vocal, which will give you, kind of an idea of what you can export from RX to use in your projects. So this is going to be the vocal on its own rendered, so there won't be any buffering on this. And here we go. This is just the vocal stem.
Higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am.
It's pretty good. You're still getting a tiny bit of that metallic hissing you associate with a a bad MP3, but it's still you could work with that in the studio on a remix. It's perfectly good enough. And here we go, here's the bass just rendered on its own. You'll need headphones for this because it's quite subby. But I think that's quite nice. A little bit messy, a bit muddy. but you know, you could probably get something out of that in the studio. So that's the bass, and we'll just do the drums on their own as well as a quick render, just so we can get an idea. I'm not sure the drums are quite as good as the vocal, but I think if you were making a remix, you'd probably use your own drums, wouldn't you? But they're not too bad. Let's just render that. You're missing a small sub-element to that kick, aren't you? I don't know, maybe you could do something with that in the studio. So they're all the elements on their own rendered, but we can actually just separate by clicking the separate button, and it will download all of those 4 elements as individual stems onto your desktop, which you can then use in your project. It does take a little bit of time actually, so bear that in mind. It's something to do as, you know, as prep for, you know, a studio project. So, you know, allow yourself 20 minutes, because sometimes those stems, if you're doing it with good quality, can take a while to render. So that was RX8. Let us know what you think. RX7 was really good. I think it was an improvement on 7 by a small amount. I don't think it's made massive leaps since 7. I think you'll agree with, particularly with the drums, they sounded weak, and I don't think you could really use them in a remix or a production. What I did like was the vocal separation, and I thought the bass line was great considering, you know, previous versions. I thought that bass line, you could take it, maybe treat it a bit more in one of RX's or one of IZotope's other pieces of software and get it back to somewhere that was usable in a remix. Also, what's interesting is if you're one of these DJs who loves putting mixtapes together, maybe you do it on Ableton, or you know, you DJ live and you want to have a few things you can throw in that you've got on your memory stick or your laptop. I think it's really exciting. I think it is getting better, and you know, as soon as RX9 comes out, we'll check that out and we'll do a review for you then on that. But I think most of you will agree, pretty exciting stuff. There's also a great David Guetta video kicking around on YouTube where he takes the WAP Cardi B track and he runs it through RX7. So I think it was a little while ago. I think it was before our RX8 came out. But he very nonchalantly does a great bootleg of WAP with ease. I mean, David Guetta's not my favourite producer, but he's clearly skilled at what he does. So go and check that out. I think it was for Mixmag he did that, and he uses RX7 on that. So it's just an example of what you can do with the software, creating your own remixes or bootlegs or edits or whatever. So I hope you got something out of that, and yeah, let us know. Again, as always, we're trying to get you guys to guide this content. So let us know if you like that, whether it was of any use. Let us know if there's any other software you'd like us to feature in the video, and we'll do our best to do so. So we will see you again next time on the DJ Mixtape. Take care, have a nice weekend or a nice week or whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you soon. Bye.